Ooh, that was pretty good timing. Thank you all for being there. A lot of changes went on behind the scenes. I changed my lighting setup. I've got a completely new light. I'll have a video coming out about that. The camera I can see is not tilted down as far as it used to be, and that's probably because I moved everything on the tree in front of me. I changed the light, had to bring the mast down because this light is taller, and then I moved the overhead camera and the vertical camera and the sideways camera and my main camera and the prompter, and everything went up and down. So if things look a little different, it's because of that. Also, this light is daylight balance, whereas the other one, which I have a video on my website here, I can hold it up for you. This is the light that I had up in front of me. It is a 4-foot wide ceiling light. And I put a little Visa mount on the back. And this has been my main light for 2 years here. And if you saw my studio tour or my studio critique of my own studio, I said, this is one of the things that I wanted to improve. And, you know, we don't start out with a perfect studio. Nobody does. You just start out with what you got, and then you move on from there. And so I started out with this, and then I had an opportunity to put an ARRI light above me. And so I did. If you saw me during the countdown talking off to the side, that is because if you look on Facebook, in the StreamTek page, and on the AIBA Tech Thoughts channel on YouTube, there's actually a behind the scenes camera. So you can actually see what the setup looks like with 2 laptops, a Surface, a Mini, an OBSBot Talent, an InStream, an Ultra, a Magewell Ultra, and 4 cameras in front of me. You can see all of that. So if you want to see all of that, go to the Facebook page and look for Stream Technology, and you'll see the video feed for actually both shows there. And that is streaming live. I should actually hit record. Let's hit record. Pow. No SD card. Okay, we're not going to hit record, because I've got SD cards and everything else. I ran out of SD cards. And then, because today is a vertical show, I have the Surface as using vMix, and the Surface is going to take the vertical output of all of these vertical platforms, which actually comes out horizontal, and then it's going to rotate it so that I could show it to you on a vertical platform. And there's going to be a little bit of a hem and haw, because 2 of the devices come out this way, and the Ultra comes out that way, so I have to flip things around. It's just, everything's different. It's always different. So thank you all for being here. If you have produced vertical shows, let me know in the comments, because again, this is a 2-way dialogue, and a couple good vertical questions have already come in. Thank you for that. And I also want to say thank you to Eric, Eric von Beauregard, who told me my timer was not running because there was so much going on. I tried to do a scrolling title for the behind the scenes camera and YOLOcast. I forget about that timer. So thanks for letting me know. We also have a hello from Shiri Umiya Enterprise. Thank you for being here. And Keith C is here for a few minutes. Hopefully you're still here. And once again, the McGee Academy of Arts and Science broadcast is here from Pico Riviera, California. And I love giving these shout outs because this is a worldwide show. Anybody can stream and have an audience around the world. That's why I do this show, for anyone who wants to get into this and reach audiences around the world. It's super easy these days. I say super easy, but it does take some skill, which is why this channel exists. And if you are interested in more content, let me get rid of this one and let me come over here with the laptop side by side. If you're watching on LinkedIn or on Twitch or on Facebook, know that there is, nope, I'm reversed this time. There is a StreamTek channel on YouTube. That's where most all of the content goes. I even do posts for the community, and do the last post for the community was about the Stream Geeks Summit coming up in November. I will be one of the speakers there. Unfortunately, it's a wide banner ad, and the YouTube cuts it off square. So I apologize to the two people who are cut in half. But that's just the way YouTube does it. And updated a website. So if you are a company looking at probably having a product featured or something like that, that information is right over here. So that information is on the community. We've got videos and we have playlists. So if you're looking for something in terms of a studio tour where I told you can see my studio and the changing of the light, NAB coverage, vertical shorts, producer conversations, all the live shows have their own channel, the technology explanations where I don't talk about gear so much as I talk about the tech and understanding things. And then of course, gear. So that is the StreamTek page. You can see right there, we are live with the vertical show. Also, as I mentioned, there is, oh, look at that. We got people chiming in here. Let me close these windows. I don't know why they open when the windows, that's not open. The channel right here is where I said we were streaming things to. So there's the vertical show and there's the Stream Geeks. I don't see, oh, it's probably because I reloaded it before starting the side view. I have a group for AirMix, which is the all-in-one iPad app that lets you switch multiple cameras, color correct the cameras, green screen, instant replay, lens correction, audio mixing, scene building, streaming, recording, and it's free. So if you're interested, check that out. And Streaming Media Producer is where I write and have been writing for over 15 years about the streaming industry. So lots of good info there. And if you need someone to consult with, advice, things like that, you can reach me at stream4.us. There's a contact link right at the top of that page. So thank you all for being here. And back to that. Let's go through the welcomes. Boop, 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 boop. Ooh, haven't had this one before. Haltel Production is from Venezuela. Thank you for being here. And Eric Jan van den Borgaard is watching from Schiphol Oost. And hope I said all that at least kind of close. No voice sound. Yes, that's because I was speaking to the behind the scenes camera over there and not to the main camera. And Royal Entertainment SKN is saying hello from St. Kitts. Also, Mike Sabatini is saying hello. Eric says, Visa mount on the light. Yes, that was a hack. It's a ceiling mount light, but the way they did it is they give you the light, which has holes, and then there's a little panel you screw into the ceiling, and then you slide the light up and slide it over, and then gravity holds it there. Simple enough. So what I did was I took that plate, put 4 holes in it, put 4 Visas, to mount with a Visa back of the monitor mount, and then I screwed the Visa mount to that plate, and then I mounted it to my tree here. And that way I was able to like angle it and position it all nice and everything, and it was clamped. Just like if you ever go to retail or anything like that, they'll have a monitor, but it's clamped to a vertical pole. So that's what I did. I clamped it to a vertical pole. We do have a couple questions. Oh, let me get rid of that. There we go. Go away. That one takes a little while. I don't know why that one takes a little while. This question comes in. How can you produce 2 simultaneous events, one in 16:9 and one 9:16? I'm doing that right now. And how I'm doing that, let me see, Ultra Talent in Stream. How I'm doing that is I am, PC, me over. What I have here is no, that's the in-stream? That's not the in-stream. It's not accepting the video change input. Okay, So let me refresh that. It's stuck on, is it stuck on this? Yes, it's stuck. This is stuck because that's not refreshing as I move from side to side. So this input is stuck. So let me refresh that. This is the magic of a live show. I am going to come over here. I'm going to say change. Yes, it's going to blank it out for a second. I'm going to say go get the USB video. Okay. There we go. And then let's go to the in-stream. There we go. So this is the in-stream. What you're seeing here on YouTube is a horizontal show. I am next to the content. What they're seeing on in-stream is me above the other content. So if I were to do a side-by-side with something else, my laptop, on the in-stream, it's me, and then the laptop is down here. So I'm arranging two different shows in two different ways for two different audiences. I see people who just want to say, oh, I've got this horizontal show and I want to put it on in-stream. I want to put it on TikTok. And unfortunately, those are vertical video formats, and you're not serving that audience very well when you take horizontal content and shove it into a vertical hole. The real challenge comes when you are putting content out there and people are, the real challenge comes when you are on Instagram. You can set your account to professional, and then you can RTMP directly to Instagram. And you can send them this wide show. You can send them this whole wide program right to Instagram. Yay, I don't have to bother with this and the other. Unfortunately, Instagram is going to take a slice out of the middle of your thing. So me doing a side-by-side like this, they're not going to see me, and they're only going to see half of this thing. No, I'll get it right, this thing. I flipped this view for one reason, and I am going to flip it back now. Edit. This one, horizontal, save. So there we go. Now I can point like this. So yeah, I've got a horizontal flip going on so that when I look at the monitor and the screen for me is on that side, for you, I'm pointing to my left shoulder. To me, I'm pointing to my right shoulder, but I'm pointing the way I see it. So that's why that's there. But the key for doing different shows for different audiences right now is to use different solutions. There are ways. You can, in certain pieces of software on a computer, have two parallel shows. And when you switch to this type of multi-view for horizontal, it will also switch to this type of multi-view for vertical. And you're basically parallel switching two different shows, which is kind of what I'm doing here. I've got my horizontal show and I've got my vertical show. And I'm doing two different shows, except I'm using two different pieces of hardware to do it. So that's where that comes into play. Another question came in. Can you talk to us about how you're able to run vertical and regular, what your setup is, as well as the differences between the type of graphics you have to set up for both? The type of graphics is actually pretty important because when you think about it, horizontal graphics like this long graphic you see on YouTube, this graphic is designed for a horizontal video. If you were to put this in a vertical format, you're not going to see all of this. You're only going to see the center part. So when you do graphics for vertical, they have to be squished. So there's going to be, for this one, there's going to be a lot more vertical text. So it's not just squeezing and cramming one into the other. You have to reflow all your stuff. You have to redesign certain things. That's one of the key things when it comes to producing for horizontal versus producing for vertical. And that is, I think, the biggest surprise for people who come to vertical and they have somebody asking them, or they're like, oh, I want to do something vertical and I'm just going to use this tool and push it to a vertical format. It's not going to be as good as it could be, and you're not going to serve your audience very well. Those are the key takeaways that I hope to help you with today. But what I have here today is I have the YOLOBOX Ultra I have, oops, I have the OBSBot Talent, and these are set up in vertical mode. I also have an in-stream, but the in-stream is actually doing the show, so I'm not going to mess with it. But as I showed you with the PC view, with the PC view, you can see this is my Ultra, or this is the in-stream, and I've got it streaming to Instagram right now. So if you went to Stream Technology on Instagram, you would see this. At least I really hope you would. J-Films joined. Hey, J-Film says hi. And the cool thing on the in-stream is I can come up here. Come on, stop it. Oh, it thinks I'm scrolling the text. Here you go. I can make it bigger. So now I can see comments and everything. So I can make the in-stream make the broadcast part take up the whole screen, which is really cool, because once you get going, it's all about just handling the comments and talking to people and things like that. You still have access to the other stuff over here on the side, and then because it's an Android, you can just pull up from the bottom and then shrink it. Really cool. And you see these other pieces come in. Here's my audio mixer, so I'm taking the audio from HDMI 2, audio follows video is off. Here is my picture-in-picture. Like you can see, this is my camera input. And really, this camera input, this is the camera. This camera input is coming in horizontally. So you have to go into the in-stream, and then you have to rotate 90 degrees. And unfortunately, it rotates 90 degrees the wrong way. So I have to like rotate, 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 and then I can do my crop, which is this thing down here. And then I also do a chroma key. So it's rotated 3 times, it's chroma keyed, so I have the blue background, and then I do a crop, create a new thing. And then I come down here and I created a pip. There it is at the very bottom. It says this is a pip video. So this is a picture-in-picture. It's this background with this overlay on top of it. So this overlay, which is the output of one of these vertical devices, I'm switching to different switches over here, output of whatever vertical device is being rotated, or is being put over here. So that program, the sub program, like if I did a side-by-side, that, whatever that is being put here, and of course, rotate, 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 so it's horizontal again. And then I put it right down here at the bottom, which you can't see. It's like in Instagram and TikTok, there's like no good place to put stuff, because there's overlays on the top, there's overlays on the side, there's comments on the bottom, and so there's really like this teeny little window of content that you can put. And then if you're one of the people that puts captions over it, you got the captions going. So you got like no place for that stuff. It's just crazy. But this is the in-stream. So if you tune over to the StreamTek channel on Instagram, this is the output of the in-stream is what you're looking at right there. And I am simultaneously producing horizontal for YouTube and vertical for Instagram. And I'm using 2 different devices to do it. But you can see, so that here on the main program, I am wide. On the vertical program, I am over top of the additional content. And then I've got a little title thing at the bottom. So that is how I'm doing both of those for this show. And like I said, this is actually running. This is live. So I'm not going to be poking in here. Question comes in. So on the right is not pip. Actually, the whole background is the pip. The whole background. So you can see there is the Instagram feed, and then there is this blurry background, which is this. So that whole thing. So when I do a picture-in-picture with something else, like my laptop, like if I do a side-by-side with my laptop, now on Instagram, everything you see over here is that bottom part. So that way it's seen clean. I don't need to feed them the whole program, because then I would be in 2 places. I would be up there as the main head, and then I would be down here as the side head. So I just feed that bottom part is just the sub switch over there. That's what's going on there. If you're using a line into the ultra, is it possible to split the audio from a mixer to an ultra vertical and an ultra horizontal? Line audio, yes. Video, not so much. You need a splitter. And I have multiple splitters on this table, as you can guess, because if you look at, let's go to my overhead. If you look at this here, me over. In the Ultra, I've got my main camera, and on the in-stream, I've got my main camera. Well, my main camera is being split to 4 places right now. So it's being, I have a splitter in place. And then my program, which goes to the broadcast, is also going to the in-stream. So that's another splitter. So I've got 2 splitters in line right now. There's a lot going on. But then again, I'm doing a show about doing shows. So there's a lot more complexity that I have here that somebody that just wants to split thing, like split my main show to 2 different things, split my main camera to 2 places. You're going to want just a bunch of splitters, main camera to 2 places, second feed to 2 places, third feed to 2 places. And then what you can do is you can use each device to do different layouts. So yeah, you got to switch this and switch that, and switch this and switch that, and switch this and switch that. Honestly though, my Instagram feed doesn't change because I always have this sub feed at the bottom, and I always have my main camera at the top. So it doesn't change. It just stays that way. What happens in this show is I can switch what's happening there, and it automatically switches because I'm using an outboard switcher before it goes into these streaming devices. Boom, boom, boom. If you're using lines, okay, got that one. Hey, thank you very much for the super chat. Yay! First time somebody's ever given me a super chat. I'm going to actually take a picture of that. I'll take a picture of that. My first ever super chat. When will be able to switch vertical to Facebook, or what equipment will we need? Can do that right now. The Ultra does it. I don't know if I think the in-stream has a Facebook output as well. And the way YOLO does it is actually, I'm going to give credit to YOLO. They figured it out. Because before Instagram created a way to do RTMP, the TikTok and Instagram were designed so that you had to use a mobile device. You had to use an app on your phone or a tablet, and it had to be running on a mobile device. Well, guess what? These are mobile devices. They're Android tablets. So the cool thing is, I have an Ultra here. Let me put this off to the side. I have an Ultra here, and this has 4 HDMI inputs, 4 cameras. But when I go in, see, I have Facebook set up here. When I go into Facebook and say, you know, open camera, Facebook thinks it's opening the camera that's built into your tablet. Except there is no camera built into the YOLOBOX or into the YOLOBOX Ultra. There is not. What's being done is it's being handed the output of the YOLOBOX interface. So I have the same thing going on here. And let me switch to the Ultra as my side-by-side and me over. So this is the Ultra. Oh, and then this is the one I have to switch. There we go. So this is the Ultra. I don't have any overlays built. I have Facebook set up here. I have my 2 cameras. So let's build a show, okay? Let's hide this. Let's build a show here. Now, first thing I'm going to do is I've got my main camera right here. It's interesting. It keys out my, okay, it's different feeds. It's not coming in the camera. I was thinking. So I need to rotate. And of course, like I said, it rotates the wrong way. And then rotate. And then rotate. There we go. Now I'm vertical. Yay. And then I say chroma key Turn on the chroma key. Replace the background with my blue background or my purple background. There I am. Great. Done. Oop. Done. But I'm too small. So come back in here. Basically using almost every single one of these features. Cropping. So I'm going to crop down onto me and say fit to screen. Fit to screen. Done. Now, look. I've got a center crop filling the screen. Now, my background right here. You know, I want to have that as my secondary feed. I just grabbed something. I have a little media player just looping stuff. We're going to add, oh, no, wait, not yet. Back up. We're going to say this thing. Of course, I need to rotate and rotate and rotate. There it is. Okay, now that is correct as to how it's supposed to be playing. And then I'm going to add a video source. I'm going to add my pip video. I want my big view, my secondary view, done. And of course it rotates again. This does not happen on the in-stream. So, boo. That's another thing they have to fix on the Ultra. I don't want to swap video. That's not really going to help. And the border thing just, so pretend it is horizontal, but it's not here. So, and then I would take this and I put it down here, or you know, I'll just put it in the bottom corner. Done. I don't know why it's going to take this input, disregard the rotation that I've put in here. Maybe if I do a crop. Let's come in here, do a crop, 16 by 9, do that. Fit the screen, done. So now if I go in my pip video and I edit and I reselect this one and this one, done. Yay! So I faked it out. I created a new version of this that is horizontal and it said, oh, okay. I'm going to, border is off. I'm going to make it larger. I'm going to bring it up here, larger, so it fills the whole frame all the way across. And then I make sure the border's off. And then, like I says, in my feed, I've got a title here. So done. And then we're going to come over here to titles, overlays. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Well, that's interesting. Back. No, cancel. Somehow, no. Somehow I got it to zoom out and it won't zoom back. And I can't see my overlays or any of these other features now. All right, fine. We'll just exit. Done. So vertical streaming. We're going to go back in. And everything you did is gone, which is one of the problems I have with the in-stream as well. It doesn't remember anything you set up, which is a pain in the ass. So got to build it again. But now you can come over here and say title. And then you can say lower third and do that thing. And then move it down here and make it a little smaller and put it down here. I'm not going to fill it in. Done. So that would be overlaid at the very bottom of the video content. How usable that is, as I said, with in-stream and TikTok filling up the entire bottom half of the whatever you're watching with other stuff. It's just super annoying. Like, I wish you could see the whole thing clear. You can see it clear if you press and hold your finger on it, but then you got to stand there with your finger pressing on it. And it's just, why can't you just let me tap it and clear everything off? But maybe that's just me. With SDI, you would have no lag. Lag is not just an SDI HDMI thing. Lag is also caused by the fact that these tools, like this Ultra, it has no gen lock. So every input that comes in, whether it would be SDI or HDMI, is going to have to be resynced in the device. That's going to take at least a frame, if not two. So if you had a 4 SDI Ultra, you would still have delay. You would still have lag. Hey, if you want to buy an Ultra, follow my link on YouTube so I can make 50 cents. So like I said, I was building this. Let's build it again. So here's my camera. Actually, interestingly, I just noticed these are actually still horizontal. These are actually still correct. So the rotation I put in stayed. That would be the only thing. So I can now do chroma key, turn the chroma key on, purple, done. Done. Then I come in here, I could do the cropping, zoom it down, fit the screen, done. And then like we said on this one, cropping, 16 by 9, fill the frame, fit the screen, basically create a new input, done. Then I come down here and I say add a video source, pip video. You can tell I've done this a few times, like every week. This one over and this one on top, done. Turn, you can see the border still thinks it's vertical, it's not. Turn the border off, make this really big, bring it down here, done. And then let's look at my audio. My audio should be coming in just on HDMI 1. That's right. I don't want audio follows video. This is the new meter on the Ultra. It's actually pretty good, more responsive. It shows you stereo, so if you get something coming in on just one channel, you can finally see it. Yay. They should be a little bit more reactive, and this one up here should still be stereo. This is still the old style meter, which is very slow. Anyway, so that's my audio. My audio is on. Go to my overlays, turn my overlay on, and then I go into Facebook, and then I say plus. I'm going to go live, and this input. So now you can see me, my secondary input, my title, and I say go live. Starting the broadcast, boom, I'm live. And again, you've got interactive elements over top of the video. So, you know, the whatever's on the bottom of your frame is kind of like throwaway, but so that's why I put the title over there. People, it's not any valuable content. Like what I might put in this window is pretty valuable. People would want to see me talking, but the title, once people know it's me, it's not something that they have to like, oh gosh, if only I could read that. You know it's me. So that's how I build my vertical on the InStream and the YOLOBOX Ultra, which also does vertical. Now, remember, the YOLOBOX Ultra touts both vertical and horizontal production. So does the Magewell Director and the UBSBot Talent. The key thing is, the word is or. You can do vertical or horizontal. You can't do them both at the same time, not on any of the devices. Again, remember, these are just Android tablets. These are not, you know, Core i7 desktops with a GTX 4080 in there, able to process all kinds of things, multiple things at the same time. These are Android tablets. You can only get them to do so much. Can you use LUTs on the Ultra? No, it's not what the device is for. I have a client that wants me to record S-Log3 and output to screens in the venue, but my output would be flat. You need to have devices that can apply LUTs to the output. Or there are external monitors from Atomos and Blackmagic that allow you to apply a LUT to the video input coming in and then pass through LUT applied video. The Ultra is not that device. The Ultra is a multi-camera live switch tool. It's a switcher, not a LUT device. Hey, Romnose Tech is joining us from Texas. Hello. The mirrored image is only so you can point virtual. Yes. Yes. Like this one, I'm moving my left hand. You see me move my left hand, but I see it on the screen moving the opposite way. So when I need to point at something, that doesn't work. I have this screen set up this way. So if I hold up something like, you know, my thing, it reads properly. But whenever I go into a side-by-side, I am flipped now. So my left hand, here, watch, left hand, right hand, left hand. So this way, when I'm looking on the screen and what I'm looking at to refer to is over there, I point, you know, it's to my right, I'm pointing in the same direction it is where I see it. So it's kind of a, It's a challenge to mentally always remember to point in the wrong direction, so I just flip the video. Answer comes into that other one. Use a Ninja V for output with LUTs. There you go. And remember, Atomos has been doing output with LUTs for many years. So you don't have to buy a new device to be able to take video in, apply a LUT, and then output it. You can look to see when that feature was added, maybe a couple years ago, and get that device. So you don't have to spend top dollar to get this one feature. Hello from Indiana. Good to see you, Ray. Thanks for coming. Thank you for your reply. You're welcome. So getting back to our show building overhead, I showed you the Instagram, or not the InStream, the YOLOBOX Ultra. And again, the Ultra and the InStream are very similar, except the InStream is older. The audio interface is the original basic interface. It actually handles the rotation a little better, but neither one of them remember this show that I've built. So if I exit this and come back in, everything I built here, this multi-camera overlay, this picture-in-picture, gone. So I hope YOLO starts to update these guys with better remember a show. So I'm actually going to finish ending the live broadcast on Facebook. I'll go check it out. For those, before you ask, you can see that I've got a purple and orange case on here. And this is actually really cool. This is from PK1. They made me a custom case with my yellow and purple. So thank you to them for doing this. This is specifically for the Ultra, and it's got these fold out feet that lets you put it down. I figured out that if you fold one foot down, now I can use it tilted at an angle for vertical. This is literally the only case in existence that works this way, because it's got the feet and you can choose to put one foot out or not. Whereas most other stands, like here's one for the Pro. This one, let me hold it like this. This one is obviously just for tabletop use. You can't tilt it and use it this way. It doesn't work. Whereas the PK1 stand for the Ultra actually lets me do tilt it for vertical use like I'm using here. Just don't bang on this corner an awful lot because that's the loose corner. And if I want to use it this way, I just put out the other foot and now I can do horizontal, and it's a cage and it's going to handle. So you can mount things on here. You can dress your cables. It's got little shoes, little cold shoes on the corners and stuff. So this is really cool. They made this for me. I did not have to pay for this. I'm mentioning it out of, they're not paying me to mention it on the show. Just being upfront with the disclosure. Over here, I have the OBSBot Talent. Now the OBSBot Talent and the Magewell Director Mini are the hardware, and the core, the base software is made by Magewell. Same device. So a lot of what I'm going to talk about here on the OBSBot Talent is going to directly apply to the Director Mini. Now the Director Mini has had another software update. It can do some other things that the Talent can't do. The Talent can control the OBSBot cameras a little bit more. There's a little bit more, special sauce tweaking on the Talent than there is in the Director Mini, as far as I'm concerned. Question came in. How can I get one of those stands? I think it's pk1.tv. Let me see. pk1.tv. And if you watch this after the fact, there it is. If you watch this after the fact, I will put a link to their website. So this is their Ultra Cage. And it's the only one they have that's, it's not the only cage, but there's a YOLOBOX Pro cage, but you're not going to, we're talking vertical. The Pro doesn't do vertical at all. They do have an InStream. They do have a product for InStream, And the in-stream stand, obviously, because the in-stream only does vertical, it's designed to hold your in-stream vertically. So there's that. The in-stream has a dedicated vertical stand. None of the other devices have dedicated vertical stands, but I found out that the Ultra, you could use the 1 foot and not the other, and have a little bit of tilt when using it for vertical production. So that's what they got going on there. And can you replace one leg to the middle of the stand? No, not really. No. I mean, if it had a second fold out, like if they made this thing, let's go to the overhead. If they made it so like there was a second leg to fold out here and you can fold one out and then the other one, that could work. But that's not how it works. They just made these big feet. And I'm just using the 1 foot and then using that as a tilt. And the Ultra has screen rotation if you're using it horizontally. I found out through the hard way that it only shows this way. If I wanted to use it where all my ports were off to the right, all of this will be upside down. You can't rotate the vertical production screen so that your cables are how you want them. You have to use it this way, and the cables are like that. So that's just the way it is. And I've got my big power amp, big power supply coming in here too. So that is the Ultra and the PK1 stand. I don't think you can get the StreamTek colors, but hey, send them an email because they bought the plastics, so maybe they'll make you one. That'd be kind of cool, don't you think? Maybe we'll have a giveaway for the 100th show. Now the OBSBot, you can see I've got a nice slant here. Now they make a stand for this. What did I do with that? I don't know what I did with that. They make a stand for this that I had for the Magewell and for the Director Mini. It's really weird. It just vanished. That's what happens when you get too much stuff on the table. Oh, here it is. They make a stand, but again, it is just a tabletop stand for horizontal production. You can't get this. It's just going to slide around. It's as good as nothing for doing vertical. However, if you've seen me talk about using the Director Mini with batteries as a battery backup for your external power, there's 2 slots back here. If you put a battery only in one, then you get your tilt. It's as easy as that. So I got my battery backup, and I got my power coming in, and I got my tilt. There's no, and technically there's 3 different angles. There's 3 different sizes. This is the 970, a 770, a 570. You can have 3 different angles with the 3 different size batteries. You cannot put this down flat on the table because the fan here needs access to air. So you have to elevate this off the ground a little bit. Whereas the Ultra, the fan mounts are on the edges here. So you can actually lay this down flat on the table. That's fine. But the Talent and the Director Mini, you can, it'll die. So don't. But that's how it cools. It's got a fan drawing air. It's got the vents. But if you block the fan by laying this down flat on the table, you will kill it. So this is sitting here like this. And come on, wake up. I already have it set up for vertical, but the way you do that is you create a show. I believe I have the Talent right here. Oh, got to reverse that. Got to use my other switcher. So this is the Talent and the Director Mini. So when you come into here, you create a new show, it asks you, you want a 16 by 9 or 9 by 16, not both, as I said. Do we need 60 frames a second? Not really. So let's do a vertical show. Create. There it is. I got a vertical show, nothing in it. So let's bring in a camera. I've got 2 cameras coming to let's do HDMI 1. There's this guy talking. Now it's got this vertical outline. Save. I haven't done yet. So if you want your horizontal video to fill this outline, so you see how it's doing the crop differently. We can go back in here, we can come back and edit. Now I need to make this a lot bigger to fill the frame. And you can see how it's got this little dotted line there. It's actually giving you centering guides, you know, touching the bottom, touching the middle, touching the top. So that's giving you layout assistance so that as I move this around, you see right there, that was lined up directly in the middle. I'm trying to get it back down. There it is, lined up in the middle. So there he is talking, save. There, I've got this guy talking, super easy. Next, I want to have, nah, let's not do that one. I have a USB camera. So, webcam one. There it is. So that's a little webcam I got set up above my main camera, and the image quality sucks. It is just a little USB box camera, but you can see I've rotated the camera. So if you rotate your camera 90 degrees, then you don't have to like do a center crop and lose resolution. So you can just take this baby, rotate it, and you see those lines popping up again? There you go. Size it up to fit. There you go, save. Camera one, camera two. Camera one, camera two. Super cool. You do your graphics. Add a graphic, let's do a lower third, let's do that one, don't really care, you know, and you can see, I think the interface really needs to be, you can't see the edges of this, I can't see them on the screen itself, I mean, barely, so they really need to make the interface a little bit more clear in terms of where your active area is and where your not active area is, or when you go outside the border, can you see that edge right there? I can barely see it. So you can do a title like that, save. And then we can do come back over here, turn graphics off. We're gonna add, now remember, this works differently. Each one of these inputs is a scene. I don't have to like start with a camera and then not use it while I've built something else and build something else and build something else. That's how the YOLOBOX works. The way the Magewell and the talent work is, I can take this picture right here, and then if I, actually, let's do me, and then use this, let's switch this input. We're gonna edit this, we're gonna take this input, I am going to delete that one, I'm going to add HDMI 2, that was this lady, and then I'm gonna position this down here, add HDMI, the webcam. Remember, we wanted that rotated. There we go. Now I don't want it on top, so we can come in here and say drop it a layer. So make it bigger so it fills the whole frame. Take her, she's down there. So that's kind of doing the same thing I was doing in the YOLOBOX, but it's a bit easier. With my camera, you come over here, I still have my flip, my transitions, my chroma key, so I can do a chroma key on this. Key color, let's do a sample of this, save, adjustments, there we, smoothness, turn the smoothness, there we go. Again, this camera, this webcam sucks, so do not take this as a judgment of the clarity of the keying capability in the, actually take this key, which is happening in the Director Mini. This is a green screen. That's a green screen with a really crappy web camera. So just want to make it clear. So now I don't have to have my sources and then the scene I want. I can do it so that I only have the scenes I want. There it is. So I can bring that up. There she is. And then bring my graphics over top of that. There's my main title. Now you cannot lock the graphics to the source to have it stay there, but that is the way those are set up there. And then once you want your destinations, you actually have to go into your settings. You're going to stream. I have it set to Facebook Live. No, I was logged in. Oh, I'm not logged in this show. I'm not going to log in again. So what I am going to do is I'm going to go back into the other show. Show list. That's the one I'm using. So maybe it was that one. There we go. So come over here, settings, stream. There, I'm logged in to Facebook Live. And let's build something quickly. I'm going to get rid of camera 1 here. Delete, delete. I'm going to get rid of camera 2 here. Delete, delete. I'm going to green screen him. Edit. So first thing is I want to bring in a picture. So what should we bring in? Let's bring in a background. Let's come back out. I'm looking for the purple background that I use everywhere else. Add a layer, picture, parent folder, my media, StreamTek, background. Okay, so now I got my background. I'm just going to rotate this, expand it to fit, send it to the background. Grab him, come over here, chroma key. That key actually worked much better. I'm going to size him out to fit. There you go. Save. And then, oh wait, you know what? I forgot. I wanted to add her on top. Going to edit this again. Add a layer. HDMI 2. There she is. Going to put her down here. Save. And then I'm going to go to the graphics. Lower third. Put that down at the very bottom. Just going to do that one. Save. Come back over here. Put this up. Put the graphics on it. So now I've got my vertical production with the key, with the purple background, and then source 2, and then the graphics. You can't see it. I don't know why it's coming in, but it's being cropped in vMix. So you're losing the very bottom of the frame here. You're also losing the interface. So it's actually cropping the whole screen. The screen is like wider than the YOLO screen that I typically use. It's more 16:9 as opposed to 18:10 or whatever the other format is. So here you can take all this, and then when you say, you can hit record or stream. So we're going to hit stream. The only one I've got set up is Facebook. So we're going to connect. And that's it. I'm pushing this to Facebook. And that is how you can do your stream in the Director Mini and the OBSBot Talent. Again, creating a vertical production. One of the key differences, you see this thing going on here. You saw the way I moved between programs on the OBSBot Talent. You saw that. So I'm going to stop this stream so that I can go get that content later. If I come out of here and I want to go to my shows, now I've got this StreamTek show. There we go. There's all my inputs. I can do this other show. And this is my horizontal show that I do regularly. Then I want to go back. I want to go to my show list. I want to go to that 9:16 show. It's all where I left it. None of the YOLO boxes do this. None of them. And I was talking about the audio mixer in the YOLO box. I would be remiss if I didn't point out that the audio mixer in the OBSBot Talent and the Magewell is really good. The meters are very responsive. Your monitor audio is separate. So this is just your headphone levels, has nothing to do with program. You can see I've got mic in audio, USB audio. I've got audio for each of the things I've got connected. I can make them audio follows video. I can come over here. I can hit the little headphone jack just to do a solo and listen to it. So, you know, the Ultra can do some of these things, but when this is populated with a bunch of audio, you really start to appreciate how good all of this works together. Not to mention, one thing that the Ultra is not going to do is, you see this little link here? Now, you can actually do your audio mixing 2 different ways in the Talent and the Director Mini. In that, with this link, that means whatever I set this microphone level to, that's the level it is for all of those scenes. Or I can unlink it. And now whatever level I have it set for this scene is different than any other scene. So like when I do the pre-show for this very show, that's a scene where it has background music attached and my microphone off. At the end of that countdown, it automatically switches to a different scene where my microphone is up. I don't have to do anything. It just happens. Building in automation like that makes things more bulletproof and makes it easier on you as a producer, because once you've got it figured out and this is working how I wanted to do it, you don't have to think about it from week to week. You've automated the process, and that really helps build reliability and consistency. Comment comes in. Looks like the Magewell devices have better reframing. The Magewell devices are free for all. There's, they don't really have presets. They do have a couple presets, but they're very, very basic. And I don't think I'm ever going to be using any of the presets that are in there. The like if you come over here, go me over. If you go to the new scene, let's start with this camera here, and then where is that? Maybe I have to bring in a second item. Come on. Layers. Nope, that's not it. It's actually not showing up here in cancel. Let's go to my horizontal show. And then come over here and create a new scene. Oh, the reason why it's not showing up here is because this is not the Director Mini. It's the Director Mini that has added scenes in version 3.0 update. This is the Talent. The Talent didn't get the Magewell update. The Talent gets OBSBot updates. So they're going to slowly diverge over the course of time. They started really close together, but as updates for each one come out, they're going to go kind of in different directions. And as I've always said, if you have a other OBSBot cameras and you're in the OBSBot ecosystem already, the Talent is going to make sense, because I feel, and I'm not one of their engineers and I'm not on their staff, I feel that OBSBot has the opportunity to really bake into the Talent features that would normally take a separate tablet. Like when I hit record on the Talent, I can maybe have an option to also tell all of the cameras to do an ISO record at 4K just by hitting one button. The Magewell is not going to have that. Whereas the Magewell has other capabilities like using a phone as a remote camera and things like that. Those are other features that have nothing to do with the OBSBot, but extend in another direction. And I feel they're going to be getting better and better over time, but also differentiating themselves. Both starting with the same core hardware and making it more economical to produce, because now there's two people making them. I mean, it's kind of like Chevy and GMC both selling essentially the same truck, but with different options, and Cadillac. Or Mazda Miata as also the Fiat Spider, except with a different engine. It's kind of in a different skin, but the core underlying hardware and engineering in the frame and the suspension and all of that, they're a good 60% the same. So there's a lot going on there. So I got a little confused in trying to show you the pre-built scenes, but the pre-built scenes are not on the Talent at the moment. I'm not saying that OBSBot couldn't at a future date add pre-built scenes to do something like this and a couple other things to say, but then you have to pick which input is here, which input is here, which input is, does the graphic come up? Does the graphic not come up? I wish graphics could be part of scenes, but they're not right now. They're a separate add-on right here. But that is basically an example of how you can create your vertical shows and some of the most popular all-in-one solutions we've got right now. The InStream is affordable and it's been out there, just hasn't been updated in a while. And it forgets your setups. The Ultra is out. It is being consistently updated, and it is also a very capable 4 HDMI input video mixer in and of itself for horizontal or vertical. It's got the updated audio meters and things like that. You can have multiple 3 NDI inputs into the Ultra. You can't have any NDI into the InStream. Then you've got the OBSBot Talent and the Magewell Director Mini. Those are very good, very compact tablets. 2 HDMI inputs, 2 USBs that you can use as HDMIs. So if, you know, when you see that side by side, when you see this thing, this is actually being captured by one of those $17 USB capture devices based on the output of one of these tablets that I want to show you. And so, you know, it does work. It may not be the best thing, you know, you may have to get up to $100 to get a good solid, especially SDI. Like Magewell makes a good SDI USB capture. And of course it's going to be backwards. There you go. Magewell has, there you go. Magewell has a good SDI capture, but again, for whatever reason, SDI devices are 100 and up. Sometimes a couple hundred. Whereas USB or HDMI you can get for a song. So I don't know what exactly the difference is there, but that is an option on the Director Mini and the OBSBot Talent. You can use both of those USB inputs, 2 USBs, 2 HDMIs, but in essence you've got 4 inputs. And if you saw, I have a show, scroll down on the YouTube channel, putting 10 inputs into the Director Mini. So that way, all you got to do is go to the StreamTek channel, lots of content there. I had 15 into the Ultra, but then I made it crash twice. I had 10 going into the Magewell Director Mini, and I had 2 scenes with 3 live video inputs each, and I dissolved between them. So at one point there's like 6 live video inputs, but they won't let you build a scene that big. So there's a lot of capability in both of these tablets. And as I always say, somebody's going to say, well, which one is the best one? Which is the one I should get? And if you're looking to do vertical, all of these devices can do vertical. They do vertical differently, but you need to assess what is most important to you. Do you need more HDMI inputs? Do you need affordability? Do you need something more compact? Do you want it so that you're going to be doing different vertical shows and you need to be able to save and recall different shows without having to rebuild it every single time? That's going to limit you to the Magewell and the OBSBot right out the door. So there's definite, once you put down what is most important to you, which one is the best one for you is going to become evident very quickly. So, and ding, 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 Bird Feeder TV and the Moon sends me another super sticker. Thinking face. Yes, it is definitely a thinker. It is definitely a thinker. You'll notice that in my videos, I never tell you this is the best one. You'll never see a thumbnail from me saying, the best camera, is this the best switcher? Is this the best? Because that's baloney. You need it. What's best for one person is not the best for someone else. There is no best. I know a lot of people ask, they just want the simple answer, but there is no simple answer, which is why I offer consulting, because you got to work through those, what your values are, what your needs are. And yes, you're going to have a thinking face. It's going to take some thinking. It's going to take making a paper list and going through it and thinking through it, letting it sit, coming back and say, oh, I forgot about this. This is really important. And those things are what will help you figure out what is the right solution for you. And like I says, I'm not here to do clickbait and tell you this is the best one. I'm not going to produce an AI video. There's no AI videos on my site, unlike other sites. There's no AI videos on my sites that basically just repeat the same marketing information you heard somewhere else. Because when you think about it, if you ask AI to put together a script, it's basically scraping off of somewhere else and putting it together. It's not writing anything new. And AI does not have 20 years of video production experience that can say, this is really important. You don't think it is, but it really is. And that's why I thank you for being here. And I hope I'm providing value to you on the StreamTek channel. We've gone a good hour, and I thank you all for being here. As I said before, if you have the time and you haven't already subscribed, do subscribe. Find a video you like, share it on your social media channel. Help other people see the value that's being produced here. Help me grow this channel. And you can also find content like the behind the scenes video right over there. Hello, behind the scenes audience. Let me bring up the caption, see if anybody said hello on that channel. Nope, nobody said hello on that channel. So hello, everybody. And the StreamTek page on Facebook, writing for streaming media producer. And if you need some consulting, you can reach me at stream4.us. You're looking for somebody to stream for us? That's me. So till next time, I will bid you all adieu. Thank you for being here, and thanks for watching.